Hey everybody, April 2021 is a very exciting time for Sonos fans. Well, because the Sonos Roam has just launched and I have done an unboxing video just recently, but I realized that a lot of you might be waiting to order this depending on how it sounds, but you may not get access to a store which will allow you to hear how this sounds. And if you want to pre-order, you probably want to have a slight understanding of how this sounds like. So today, a very quick video that I'm going to put in for you guys is to compare how the Sonos Roam sounds in contrast with the Sonos Play 1 that I have here, as well as the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf speaker. There's no frequency testing today because I need to get this video out as quickly as I can for you guys, based on those who are still on the fence about whether to pre-order the Sonos Roam or not. I know you guys respect me, respect my channel, and appreciate the fact that I bring you timely information, and this is what today's video is about, timely information. I don't have the time yet to do any frequency sweep or testing or comparison video like how I usually do in my channel. So for those of you who know, there's no other channel that does in-depth review on Sonos speakers like my channel does. So for those of you who are familiar with my channel, I'd like to give you my summary up front. Very quickly, this is the Sonos Roam. In terms of sound performance, with what I have against the Sonos Play 1 and the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf up here, in terms of sound, in terms of bass output, this is not going to be quite close to either of those speakers. Now, in the speaker world, there is really very little replacement for displacement. That's what they talk about for car engines, right? But it is probably quite similar. The drivers on this, there are two drivers here. One is a racetrack elliptical kind of driver, but it is still going to be very small. Just imagine this 2 inches enclosure that you're looking at, that is about the whole driver that it can fit in, and a tweeter all within this same enclosure. And look, it is barely, I can hide it with my two bare hands. Whereas the Sonos One is going to be about 4 times the volume. If you could look at the height, it is pretty similar, and you could fit like 4 of these Sonos Roam, on top of the Sonos One or the Play ones, right? So in effect, the volume that is available to the Sonos Play 1 or the Sonos One is 4 times that of the Sonos Roam. And the bookshelf, the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf, is even bigger than the Sonos One. So you can imagine that the bass output, it is not going to be quite close to this. Now, bear in mind that the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf speaker, it actually is a ported speaker. So you might hear a little bit more bass impact from there, although it might not be as deep nor as, smooth as the Sonos Play 1. So I hope this episode brings you value. It helps you pre-order, make the decision to pre-order, as we have experienced with the Sonos Arc or even the Sonos Sub Gen 3 to a certain extent. You will realize that if you don't put in your order for Sonos soon enough, you might end up with a very long wait for the products to arrive at your door. So these speakers are going to be quite the hit. It is $169 US. It's the cheapest Sonos speaker. Well, not as cheap as the $99 Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf speaker, but still it is going to be the cheapest available speaker from Sonos Direct. So if you are keen on this, do stay on, listen out to how these speakers sound in relation to the Sonos Roam, and then hopefully that helps you make a decision on whether you're going to pre-order this or not. So right now I'm going to switch over to the testing setup. Okay, so this is what I have here. This is the Sonos Play 1. This is the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf. As you can see, the size, the distance is a little bit different, but the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf is actually relatively large in comparison with the Sonos One. And the smaller speaker there, this is the Sonos Roam, okay? This is the entire volume, okay? This is not a big speaker at all. And if you contrast it, this is probably 4 times smaller than the Sonos Play 1. And I would dare say about 6 times in terms of volume, smaller than the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf. So without getting into further details and frequency sweeps and time-consuming tests, I am just going to let you have a listen to a single track on each of these speakers so that you get a rough understanding of how the sound sounds like before you decide whether you're going to pre-order or not. Okay, so very, very quickly, I will let you have a listen to the Sonos Roam first. So this is the Roam, and that is the exact one that we're looking at. Okay, so I've switched the recording setup. It's going to sound a little bit different from my usual voice recording setup. This is a full range recording, so it might pick up some of the background noise as well. Just bear with it. When the music kicks in, you will hear the full bandwidth recording from the Sonos Roam, the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf, as well as the Sonos Play one. So here goes. This is the Sonos Roam. Next up, this is the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf speaker. Next up, we have the Sonos Play one. So here goes. So there you go. This is the demo of the Sonos Roam. Now, you have to bear in mind that this has auto true play. So for the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf as well as the Sonos Play one, they are all playing at volume 50% for all the speakers, including the Sonos Roam. But TruePlay has not been applied. It has not been tuned for the specific location. Whereas the Sonos Roam, wherever you place it, either is it over Bluetooth or over Wi-Fi, it is still going to auto TruePlay itself. Now, the other thing to note is all the distances from the mic to the recording speaker, they are all at the same distance. So if you experience any differences in the volume, in the loudness of the speaker, it is purely due to the output of each of these speakers. So the Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf, it will sound like it is the loudest. It has put out quite a good amount of bass. The Sonos Play one isn't too shabby either. It is putting out quite a lot of deep bass as well for a speaker of that size. But for this speaker, for this size, something that you hold it in your hands, battery power, you bring it everywhere. Now, I have to tell you, this is not room-filling sound, but what it gives you is the ability to move it with you everywhere you go and roam about, right? So for this particular speaker, if you think of it as a personal speaker, something that it is able to play a lot better than the iPad or the iPhone or the Android phone that you're carrying around with you at any point in time, then yes, these are fantastic, right? You can't drag the Sonos Play one, you can't drag the Ikea Symfonisk around because they are not battery powered, they run a cord and they're simply just too big. The other option that you have is the Sonos Move, which is also by Sonos, which is also a Bluetooth speaker, but that is at least 6 times bigger and heavier than the Sonos Roam. That weighs in at 3 kg, this less than 500 grams. So right now today, besides the Sonos Roam, there's actually nothing else in the Sonos lineup that will be able to fill this place as a truly portable personal speaker. So if you're up in the So you're still up on the fence, deciding whether to get this or not. Think about your use case. If you want something that is truly portable, something that you can bring around, something that sounds good within about an arm's length from you, then the Sonos Roam will be the right speaker to get. I'll see you in my next video. You know what? When the credits are rolling, sometimes the trailers come out for the next episode or the next installment in one of those Marvel superhero movies, right? So maybe this video is one of those. Okay, just imagine the credits are rolling. So what I'm going to do now, as a bonus episode, I thought this episode was going to be short and I could cut it within 5 minutes. But when I start talking, when I start testing, when I start discussing about these wireless audiophile products, these wireless speakers, I just can't stop. And you know what? I wanted to reserve it for another episode, but maybe the more technical test. Today, I'm going to throw in a bonus of letting you hear the same song as you have heard earlier on the Sonos Play 1 Ikea Symfonisk Bookshelf, as well as a single Sonos Roam. I'll let you hear it in stereo. Same mic position, same position where I'm going to place the speaker, except that now it's in stereo. Set up stereo pair. Continue. Sonos Roam, yes. Okay, now it's asking me which is left and which is right. Okay, I'll set the black one as the right speaker. Okay, now I'll let the system do its magic. Okay, let me do the setup. Let me move things. Okay, once you hear the chime, it is actually ready. Oh dear, I forgot to switch the mic back, so you might not have heard me very clearly over the last couple of minutes. I'm sorry about that, but hopefully the test of this makes up. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the exact setup. This is in stereo pair. This is the right speaker, this is the left speaker, and I have paired it up using the Sonos S2 app. So I'm going to start playing it at same 50% volume. Play. Okay, so you have now heard these Sonos Roam in stereo. Let me know what you think of these guys in the comment section below. Would you buy it? If you couldn't hear it over the recording, I'm going to be telling you that actually the volume is significantly louder than just one of these. And I always believe in stereo pairing speakers. We have 2 ears, we need 2 speakers, and that's why if you're considering the Sonos Roam for any sort of critical, well, because they're so small, the quality is not as good as a full-size speaker, but if you want to get the most out of the Sonos Roam, you do need to consider getting a pair of them. But if you're just all out for portability, just one of them, dump it in your backpack, move around, travel with ease, one of them is a great option for doing just that. There's still a lot of testing left to be done with the Sonos Roam. In my channel, I test all these Sonos speakers in all wireless speakers to bits, and if you are interested in that sort of things, if you are interested in listening to me talk about the frequency response of these speakers and measuring these speakers, then stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment on the video so that YouTube will suggest this video to you when my video drops. If you have found this video useful, I hope you can consider dropping me a little bit of a coffee fund, make a small contribution on my Patreon account. I'm going to be linking the Patreon QR code right here. So you could scan this QR code, or you could go to the Patreon link, which I'm linking in the video description below. Click through, you will see my Patreon page. You can make a small contribution to my coffee fund if this video has been any help to you at all. Now, I try to bring value to this Sonos loving community in YouTube by trying to discover in depth and try to cover and answer any of the questions that you have about Sonos speakers in general. The last time we had a blast was in 2020 when they simultaneously launched the Sonos Up, the Sonos 5, which is in Gen 3 by the way, as well as the Sonos Sub Gen 3. So this time around, this year, the newest product from Sonos, the Sonos Roam, April 2021 is going to be one hell of a month. So stay tuned, stay tight. So if any of my videos have brought you value, please do consider making a small contribution to my coffee fund. Now, this time I'm truly signing off, and I will see you in my next video.